Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, calculator in hand, trying to figure out how to make your Social Security or disability check stretch another week. The groceries cost more, the rent went up again, and that cost of living adjustment, it barely covered the increase in your Medicare premiums. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of Americans receiving Social Security, SSDI or SSI, are feeling the pinch right now. But here's what most people don't know. There could be significant changes coming that might put more money back in your pocket. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 crucial things you need to know about the potential executive order to raise Social Security, SSDI, and SSI payments. More importantly, I'll show you exactly what you can do right now to make sure you're prepared and don't miss out on any benefits you're entitled to. I spent hours researching this topic, talking to benefits experts, and digging through government resources so you don't have to. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where things stand and have a clear action plan. There's a lot of confusion and misinformation floating around about executive orders and Social Security increases. People are getting their hopes up based on rumors or getting discouraged by partial information. Let me break down what's actually being discussed. While presidents can issue executive orders on many topics, Social Security benefit amounts are primarily controlled by Congress through legislation. However, there are administrative actions that can be taken to improve the system and potentially help beneficiaries in other ways. The current proposals focus on things like expanding eligibility criteria, streamlining the application process, and addressing outdated rules that prevent people from getting the full benefits they deserve. Think of it as fixing the plumbing in an old house. You're not necessarily adding more water pressure, but you're making sure all the water that should be flowing actually gets to where it needs to go. Here's what you need to do right now. Bookmark the official Social Security Administration website at ssa.gov. This is your single source of truth for any official announcements. Don't rely on social media posts or forwarded emails from well-meaning friends. The SSA website is completely free to use, and it's updated regularly with accurate, official information. You don't need to pay anyone to access this information. The cost of living has skyrocketed, but Social Security's cost of living adjustments haven't kept pace with what people are actually spending money on, especially housing, healthcare, and food. Policymakers are recognizing that the current formula for calculating COLAs might not reflect real-world expenses for seniors and disabled individuals. There's growing support for reforms that would better protect benefits from inflation and potentially provide emergency increases during periods of rapid price growth. Some proposals include using a different inflation index that better captures senior spending patterns, or implementing emergency COLA adjustments when prices spike suddenly like we've seen recently. Start tracking your monthly expenses right now. I know it sounds tedious, but here's why it matters. If and when benefit reforms are debated, your real-world data matters. Organizations like AARP regularly survey members about their expenses to advocate for better policies. You don't need fancy budgeting software. A simple notebook or even your smartphone's Notes app will work perfectly. Many people find that just tracking expenses for a month helps them identify areas where they can save money immediately. Now, here's the thing. Whether or not major policy changes happen, there are immediate steps you can take to maximize your current benefits and reduce your expenses. Millions of people are missing out on programs and benefits they already qualify for simply because they don't know these programs exist. There's a whole ecosystem of federal and state programs designed to help Social Security, SSDI, and SSI recipients, but they're not automatically enrolled. Programs like SNAP, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare savings programs, and the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program can provide hundreds of dollars in monthly relief. Go to benefits.gov right now. That's benefits.gov, and take their Benefits Finder questionnaire. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes and will show you every program you might qualify for based on your specific situation. This is completely free, and you're not committing to anything by taking the questionnaire. It's just information gathering. The website is run by the federal government, so your information is secure. In addition to that, contact your local area agency on aging if you're over 60, even if you're not yet collecting Social Security. These agencies have counselors who can do a comprehensive benefits review with you over the phone. This service is free and available in every state. People are making financial decisions based on the assumption that major benefit increases are coming soon, which could put them in a difficult position if changes take longer than expected. Let's be realistic about timelines. Even if an executive order were signed tomorrow, implementation of complex benefit changes typically takes months or even years. The Social Security Administration processes benefits for over 70 million people. They can't just flip a switch. However, some administrative improvements could happen relatively quickly, like simplifying application processes or updating outdated eligibility requirements that currently exclude people who should qualify. Plan your finances based on what you know for certain, not what might happen. If you're struggling to make ends meet, don't wait for potential policy changes. Contact 211 by dialing 211 from any phone or visit 211.org. They'll connect you with local resources that can provide immediate help with food, utilities, housing, and other necessities. The 211 system is available 24/7, completely free and confidential. The operators are trained to help people in crisis and can connect you with resources you might never have known existed. The benefit system is complex, and important information often gets buried in government websites or lost in political noise. You need reliable sources and a system for staying updated without getting overwhelmed by every rumor that circulates on social media. Here's my recommendation for staying informed. First, follow the official Social Security Administration on their website and sign up for their email updates. Second, organizations like the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare provide regular, fact-based updates on policy developments. Third, if you have a disability, organizations like the National Disability Rights Network offer resources specific to SSDI and SSI. Create a simple email folder called Benefits Updates and set up a monthly reminder to check these official sources. Don't check daily, that'll just stress you out. Monthly is enough to stay informed without getting overwhelmed. You don't need to become a policy expert overnight. These organizations do the heavy lifting of analyzing complex legislation and breaking it down into plain English for people like us. Let me quickly recap what we've covered today, because I want you to walk away with clear next steps. First, we talked about the reality of what executive orders can and can't do regarding Social Security benefits, and why SSA.gov needs to be your go-to source for official information. Second, we discussed how economic pressures are driving policy discussions and why tracking your own expenses gives you valuable data. Third, I showed you how benefits.gov can help you find programs you qualify for right now while we wait for any potential policy changes. Fourth, we talked about managing expectations and timelines and how 211 can connect you with immediate help if you need it. And finally, we covered how to stay informed without getting overwhelmed, focusing on official sources and monthly check-ins rather than daily stress. Here's what I want you to remember. Even if major policy changes don't happen as quickly as we'd like, you have power in this situation. You can take action right now to maximize your current benefits, reduce your expenses, and make sure you're not missing out on programs you already qualify for. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people who need this information. And honestly, the comments section on these videos becomes such a valuable resource where people share additional tips and resources they've discovered. In the description, you'll find links to every website and resource I mentioned today, plus that free organizational template I talked about earlier. Next week, I'm going to dive deeper into the Medicare savings programs, because I got so many questions about those after my last video. These programs can literally save you hundreds of dollars a month on Medicare premiums and copays, and most people have no idea they exist. Thank you for watching, and remember, you're not alone in navigating this system. We're all figuring it out together, and every step forward counts.